Collision coverage. While property damage liability insurance pays for damage to someone else's vehicle or property following an accident, collision coverage pays for damage to your own vehicle or property. That can include damage caused by a collision with another vehicle or hitting a stationary object such as a tree or fence. Whether you need to have collision coverage can depend on the state you are getting insured in and if you have a loan on the vehicle. Your state insurance department may not require collision, but if you are borrowing money to buy a car, the lender might require you have you to have it until the loan is paid off. Comprehensive coverage reimburses you for loss, theft, or damage to your vehicle caused by something other than a collision with another vehicle or object. For example, comprehensive coverage can protect you from damage related to first one is fire, theft, larynxy, falling objects or projectiles, explosions, earthquake, windstorms or hail, floods, malicious mischief, civil unrest, contact with a bird or animal, glass breakage. Again, whether you are required to have this coverage or not can depend on where you live. If you still have an outstanding loan on the vehicles, underinsured or uninsured motorist coverage can protect you if you are involved in an accident where the driver who's at fault does not have sufficient insurance. Uninsured motorist coverage is meant to protect you if you are in an accident with a driver who has no insurance at all. Either type of coverage can pay for medical bills or repairs to your vehicle. You must consider adding on this type of coverage if you live in a state with a high number of uninsured or underinsured drivers. How insurance coverage requirements vary by state. Every state but New Hampshire requires you to have both bodily injury liability and property damage liability. New Hampshire drivers do have to meet certain financial responsibility requirements to forego liability coverage. In the remaining states, there are also minimum dollars amounts for the coverage you must carry. Bodily injury liability can have $2 limits one person and another per accident, while there's only one limit for property damage. Coverage limits are typically expressed in your insurance policy by a sequence of numbers. So, for example, if your policy has a $25,000 bodily injury liability limit per person, a $50,000 bodily injury liability limit per accident, and a 25,000 property damage liability limit, your policy would express it as 25, 50, 25. It is important to note that the minimum coverage limits are just that, minimums. You can option to purchase coverage above those limits, and that's often a smart idea. Keep in mind that the more coverage you have, the more you might pay for car insurance. Whether you are legally required to carry medical payments or PIP insurance, collision coverage, comprehensive coverage, or underinsurance or uninsurance, motorist coverage depends on your state. And again, the minimum coverage amounts you are required to have for each one can vary.